Peter Parker, or more famously known as Spider-Man, is notorious for holding back and pulling his punches, in fear of seriously hurting or even killing someone unknowingly. But there have been some times where Spider-Man is either forced to now hold back or is pushed past his limits out of pure anger or frustration of the situation. And in this video, we will be going over 3 times where Spider-Man indeed doesn't hold back or even possibly kills his opponent. In the first story, we see a universe where Peter and Mary Jane are married and have a daughter, and during one of their missions chasing the Rhino, which is insane mind you, to bring a 9-year-old child with superpowers or not along to fight the Rhino, it's just crazy. But we see Spider-Man and his symbiote wearing Mary Jane, both incapacitated by some random goons, just long enough for their daughter to be grabbed and kidnapped by Rhino and the rest of them. And after waking up, furiously seeing that she's gone, they immediately head back to base, where they get to work quickly locating her. And soon after doing so, Peter heads over to a supervillain bar where he found the Rhino, and at this point he is seriously angry, as you can imagine. So he quickly, and with a little more brutality than usual, takes out all of the goons there, some superpowered and some not, before busting the door down into the room where Rhino is calmly playing a card game. Meanwhile, Spidey is anything but calm right now, and doesn't even let Rhino finish talking before immediately jumping up and beating him down, full force beating Rhino's face in, to the point where his suit starts to tear and his knuckles redden. After his barrage of attacks, he leaves Rhino bruised and bloodied up, barely able to whisper words out, which is impressive in and of itself, when Rhino was a being originally created to fight the Hulk. And before leaving, he gives Rhino a threatening message: "Stay away from my family, or next time, I won't be so forgiving." In the second one, we have a what-if story during the Civil War storyline, where in the original, Aunt May gets shot, but here instead, Mary Jane gets shot and actually dies. We see Peter immediately finding the sniper on the roof and starts questioning who hired him. After finding out it was Kingpin, Peter kills the hired gunman out of anger and then sets his sights out to find Fisk, who hired the hit from jail. After donning his black suit, which is cloth and not the symbiote, he sets out to intercept a SHIELD transport vehicle that was taking Fisk elsewhere. But as he is following the flying vehicle, he is stopped by Iron Man, who is trying to stop Spider-Man from killing Kingpin. But now more determined to meet his goal than ever, in a short scuffle, he knocks Iron Man down, breaking his mask off and continuing to go after Kingpin. Then, after quickly taking out some SHIELD agents, right before he is able to get to Fisk, Iron Man blasts him from above and flies him into a nearby building where he bombs and blows him up, which does nothing but momentarily slow Peter down, but also makes him twice as angry. Spider-Man then reappears out of the building and tries to stop the car Fisk is escaping in, but is then stopped by Iron Man again, and this time, Stark intends to end it. But as you see here, Stark underestimates his speed, and by Peter's own words, he says he's faster than Iron Man, and maybe stronger too when he puts his mind to it. He then uses Stark's own weapon against him, forcing his armor to power off and drop off him, before two-shotting him and pursuing Kingpin. After finally catching up to him, he sees those cops were on Fisk's payroll, and they even went and kidnapped Aunt May to use as leverage against Peter. Kingpin then says for Peter to not fight back, while he beats him to death, or he will end Aunt May, which was a wrong move on Fisk's end, because the threat on Aunt May's life was the last thing Peter needed to hear before pitting a fist straight through his heart, finally killing the Kingpin of crime. In the third and final story, we have a world where superpowered heroes and villains alike have started going missing, and after being alerted to this issue, Peter swings by the Avengers mansion to try and find out what's going on. So while there, Captain America is trying to assess what is going on when they get an alert that there's been a mass breakout at Riker's prison. And just at the mention of this, Peter instantly knows who was there and who would want revenge. So he immediately leaves and comes rushing back home, where he finds Venom already there, with MJ and his young daughter held hostage. And at this point, all bets are off, and Spider-Man blitzes forward, hitting Venom with everything he's got, while giving his family the chance to escape. But it's futile, as Venom just busts through the building to follow and get MJ and their daughter. But right before Venom is able to get them, MJ turns on a firefighter siren at full blast, momentarily stunning Venom and allowing Spider-Man to catch up and put the hurt on Brock. And as they start to brawl, Peter starts trying to move the fight into a near burning building, not letting up and giving Venom the chance to escape. And while in the fire-filled building, Brock makes his final mistake of threatening that even if he beats him here, he will never stop coming after Peter and his family, even going as far as to say he will suck the brains out of his daughter, which just enrages Peter. And after finding out the building is empty, Spider-Man feels like there's no other way but to stop Venom here and now for good. So he decides to bring down the entire building on the two of them. And after emerging from the rubble, he sees that he finally killed and ended the symbiote threat. So after going over these instances, there's 2 clear common themes. The first being that when Peter wants to hurt one of his villains and doesn't hold back, he gets it done. That's why he always has to hold back in fear of killing or brutally hurting them. The second being, when someone Peter knows or his loved ones are in danger or threatened, all bets are off. He's on go mode. But yeah, thank you for watching, and if you want to see more, Subscribe and stay tuned, as a lot more will be coming soon.